144thGraphics in Georgia. This is your custom LesComm custom 959. Showing you a little bit of the inside of it. There's your LC5304, your TRB-X3, which is a freebie for the radio taking so long. Sorry about the wait. You also have a 10-turn clarifier. There's the control for the Echo. I shortened the wiring up so you ain't got 15 miles worth of wire just hanging around inside the radio. Okay. There's your all blue display. Okay. And still got a lot to do inside here. Got to change the caps, and I'm getting ready right now to add the actually what I do, I take the driver, which is a 520, and I move it over to the second final position. Okay, install all the support components for the second final, and then I put a new driver in place of this one. The reason I do that, the drivers, the 520s that I have are a different brand than these two, so these two are better matched, and that's why I put them together. Okay, and it seems to work really well. I know how to set the bias voltage on them, and they work really great. Okay, still got to change out the caps. I got to add your big 10 amp diode, protection diode there. They put a I think it's a, well, I'll have to look and see. I think it's a 6 amp. Yeah, 6 amp. See that 6 on there? So that one, in combination with the 10 amp that I had on the board, which replaces the 4007 or 4004, whichever one they're using, it gives you 16 amps worth of protection. So you'd basically have to take the fuse out of the wire and hook it up directly to the battery to burn this thing up. But I have seen people do that. But anyway, that's you know, extra protection. I got to come back in here and replace your caps. I've already done the receive upgrade. I've added your 15 kilohertz wide 10.7 filter. I haven't done the transmitter upgrade yet because I'm just getting started on that, and I'll do the broadband on it as well. Okay, just thought I'd give you an update. All right, more to come. Okay, 144thGraphics in Georgia. Here's your LesComm 959. Already showed you some things inside the radio. There's your second final and your IRF 520 driver. Already preset the bias voltages. There's your 4700 microfarad power input buffer. There's your 10 amp protection diode, and like I said, that along with that, the 6 amp plus the 10 amp, you should never ever hurt anything inside your radio. Okay, there's your 3300 microfarad cap for the voltage regulator, the buffer for it. Okay, now on that 10 amp diode, let me show you some things that I do on the bottom of the board. You see this? That's the lead of the diode. It's a good thick lead. I run that lead all the way back to where the ground cable comes into the board, comes into the PC board. Okay, that little black cable there behind the 4700 microfarad. See that little white circle? That's where that black lead goes into the board. Okay, the capacitor mounts in right here and right there, and that lead comes through right there. All right, so this thick leg of that protection diode, I fold it over and solder it all the way back to where the wire comes through the board. That way you don't have to worry about the extra current burning the PC runs. All right, I do the same thing with the power input. Right there, right underneath the end of that leg is where the red wire comes into the board. Okay, you can see I got heavy solder on the leg going to the where the lead comes through the board there. And you know, like I said, that's just to protect it from burning the PC runs on the bottom of the board. And let's see, I've already showed you the filter upgrade. I do little things, you know. Filter upgrade. I put the light bar inside the meter, the blue light bar, instead of one little LED like a lot of other folks do. This way the meter's actually lit up to where you can read it. And I did the hot glue stuff on the boards and connectors, okay, to keep the boards and stuff from jarring around, and just a little touch of hot glue on each one of the connectors to make sure that they stay in the radio, doesn't come unplugged. All right. And of course, there is your amplifier relay that's controlled from the front panel. You push in what used to be the Roger beep switch, now activates your relay, which in turn will activate an amplifier. Here's the amp control wire. Okay. When this is hot, when your amplifier is turned on, the amplifier relay is active. You have 8 volts on this wire, and that's to control a relay inside an amplifier. Okay, it's labeled. I got it labeled amp control. I got it wire tied with the rest of the bundle. So if you buy an amplifier, just get your technician to run this wire through one of these holes here in the back. Be sure you insulate it good with heat shrink or something around it, and tie that into your amplifier, and then your radio will key your amp. You don't have to worry about like a delay or whatever for sideband. You don't have to have a delay capacitor in the amplifier. The radio will key the amp and unkey it, so you don't get that chatter you do sometimes with on sideband. Okay, these guys here, I cut the crap out of them. Here's part of the wires that went to the control. You know, they give you about a foot of wire. You don't need that much, so I whacked a bunch of it off. Okay, I also put insulation on it to make sure it didn't get chafed by the PC board being up here. All right, and that goes to the display. Coming from this guy, it goes underneath the board and around and then to the top of the LesComm board. There's your 10-turn clarifier. Okay, now I've showed you guys this before, but let me show you again. See that flat spot there on the control? I ground that in there on purpose, and the reason for that is when I drill out the knob and I glue the knob on. Okay, so when I slide the knob up on the shaft, the glue will make kind of like a key. Also, I'll show you again once I get it done, but I'll drill out the inside of this knob, and I'll actually put a notch on one side of it, so that when I put the knob on, okay, that notch will line up with this flat spot, and they'll both fill up with glue and make kind of a key, so that when you get to the end of the 10-turn, if you turn it a little too hard, it won't break the knob loose and the knob come off. Well, it might if you turn it too hard, but this is to prevent that. Okay. And I'll try to center up the line as best I can, so that it matches center slot on the frequency counter. All right. Okay, let me get the face and the covers put on it. I've already tested transmit, receive, did the broadbanding on both, and it's ready to go. All I got to do is put the covers on it and the warranty seals. As soon as I get the covers on it, I'll be back to demonstrate. Okay, more to come.
Not K4GO, I think it is. Go ahead. I'm not copying you either. I'm sorry. What happened to 10 meters? It dumped All set and gone. W7QR in Utah, QRZ. Kilo Mike 4, go ahead, sir. Yeah, you're really quick with your call sign. Your signal just took a real nosedive and then came back up, so I missed it. I got Kilowatt Mike 4. Try again.
This thing washes out when you get too close to the meter. It doesn't like blue.
Okay, I've got it now. KM4, Alpha Alpha X-ray. Looks like Matt, and I think that's what you told me. So it looks like I got you in here. And in Virginia, my name is Rulon, R-U-L-O-N. Pronounced Rulon, and I'm in the state of Utah. Matt, go ahead.
.144th Graphics, I believe. This is your LesComm custom DX959. Just giving you a little demo of 10 meters. I wanted to show you some things on the radio, which you've probably already seen. With this switch all the way over to the right, where it says band, you notice you get a letter and then 2 digits. Okay. Oops. I was going to say, what's up with this? But I know what it is now. I slid up to copy that station there in Utah. Okay, there's your highest frequency. There's your lowest frequency. Okay, highest, lowest. All right. If I can show you the receive between the two. And as you move into the CB band, it definitely gets noisier. That's the free band. Let's see if there's anybody on international call channel. On the upper side, yep. I think the skips pretty much died out tonight. That one station up there in 10 meters, that was just kind of a fluke. Still some folks trying to talk on 38.
I'm here in the portable station around the Bikini Sea. So good evening to the portable station on Bikini Sea. Witch Doctor in the island of Trinidad, the second side of the West Indies. Just got down.
On the world line here in the West Indies on the back corner of my antenna. That's crazy.
QSK, Barbados on site. QSK, Barbados on site for call. QSK, Red International, Barbados, time by QSK.
Barbados, it looks to me like the conditions have swung around to the south. Okay, showed you that, and here's your 10-turn clarifier, and this thing is nice. I've done this to my radio too. Okay, it goes up to 398. Now this is from 385, so it actually goes more than one channel up. Okay, I don't think it quite goes one channel down, but it's 5 turns from the center all the way down. Okay, gets you way past the 0. It almost goes another channel down, like 1 kc. But see, it's real easy to adjust to clarify, folks, and get back on center frequency. Okay, right there is where your knob is. And I was going to show you the slot that I cut in this thing, and daggone if I didn't forget about it and go ahead and glue it on. Well, I don't want to pull it off, so I'm just going to leave it on there. But there it is. It works really nice. See, let me show you. Real easy to clarify, people. Real easy to slide up or down 5 kcs. Okay, now this radio doesn't skip any channels. It goes from your lowest frequency to the highest frequency without skipping any. And everything is in sequence. All right, that flickering that you're seeing, I've got my finger in front of the channel display. That's caused by the frame syncing of the camera. You notice it just stopped. Frame syncing of the camera with the refresh rate of the display. I know a lot of you are going, what? But that means that the frame speed, in other words, the speed that the camera is taking the picture, is matching the refresh rate of the display. Okay? Anyway. Thing has an excellent receiver on it. All right, I think that just about does it. Galaxy is one of the few manufacturers that are still making sideband radios. They actually have quite a few to choose from. The only other choice that we have now are the Uniden Bearcat 980s, besides the export or 10-meter radios. But you can't really, well, the Cobra 148s have been discontinued. They are no more. And I attribute that to a lot of the bad mouthing the newest versions of the 148s got. No, they were not as good as the old Philippine 148s. They were better than nothing. And these latest ones that were manufactured by EPC, which was, is now part of TDK. All of you remember the old TDK magnetic tapes. TDK EPC was manufacturing the radio, the KEPC part numbers, the LEPC part numbers on the boards. That all came from TDK EPC. But because it got such bad publicity, sales of the 148 dropped way off. So Cobra discontinued it. The only thing that's still selling of Cobras now are the really cheap little Cobras, the ones that you can't do shit with, and the Cobra 29s. All versions of the Cobra 29s are still doing well. But I really, really hated to see the Cobra 148 become extinct. It had one of the best receivers in the world. The new Cobra was basically the same as the old Cobra 148. They had made improvements. They started using the TDA 2003, which is a 10-watt audio chip. They were using off-the-shelf 7808 voltage regulators, or I think it was 7809. Instead of the MB3756. They had improved it. They actually used hotter transistors in the receive than what the old 1675s were. They had switched to EKL transistors. They were using the EKL 2078 and an EKL 1969, which has basically the same performance as the old Mitsubishi transistors. But everybody called them junk, and the copper was thinner. But all new radios, the PC boards are thinner, and the copper is thinner. All manufacturers are doing it. But because somebody tried to use a 25-watt soldering iron and upgrade one of the new 148s, all of a sudden it became junk. And so now it's extinct. So if you got a 148, you better hold on to the damn thing. One of the best receivers in the world. Okay, well, 144thGraphics. This is your custom DX959 by LesComm. It has the LC5304 in it. It has squelch scan, which allows you to scan up and down and discover new frequencies using the squelch. It also has the band switch now, operated by the channel selector. The CSS switch controls whether the channel selector handles the band or handles the channels. Alright, you've got over 10 kcs up and about 9 kcs down on your clarifier. You also have, oh, I almost forgot. I forgot to demo the Echo. Let me get my monitor radio on channel 38. I'll show you that real quick. Let me switch to the dummy load and switch this one to AM. Switch this one to AM. Got now your Echo is where your talkback used to be. You don't have talkback anymore. Audio 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Audio test. Okay, there's your time. Audio.
Audio, 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 audio,
Audio.
audio, audio, audio,
Audio.
audio,
Okay, so the Echo works really good. Notice most of the truck drivers run it like this. Audio test, test audio, audio test. You can't hardly understand them, but boy, they got echo. Anyway, turn that off. Okay, and your amplifier control is on the where the old Roger beep used to be. You can probably see that. It says push amp. So if you want your radio to control your amplifier, you push that in. You see the little amp, green amp light comes on. And if you've hooked up the amp control wire that's in the back here, if you run it out and connected it to the control relay on your amplifier, the radio and amp will key and unkey at the same time. Okay? It's a really nice feature. Okay. 144thGraphics in Georgia. I sure hope you enjoy your custom 959. It was my pleasure to build it for you. 73s, everybody.